friends, it's Wednesday again. Time now for Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics. And once again, researching or just reliving the Green Goblin story. And so the last time around was the big reveal that Norman Osborn was the Green Goblin, and he had a fight with Peter Parker as Spider-Man, and the result was he developed amnesia and didn't remember being Green Goblin or that Spider-Man was Peter Parker and all that. So they jump ahead. This was not the cover of the following stories that came later. Of course, this was the Marvel Tales reprints. And at this point, I think they started jumping around on stories rather than having the same chronology, if you will, of the original series. But to get to this story of what happens next between Spider-Man and the Green Goblin is how I saw it in my youth, was this very issue, which collects a three-part story, and it's the controversial anti-drug abuse. It talks about Harry Osborn succumbing to drug addiction in it, and at the time, the Comics Code Authority said that violated the rules, so you couldn't have a drug story in it, even though Stan Lee was saying, well, yeah, but it's saying drugs are bad and all this. It doesn't matter. We don't want it in there. And instead of scrapping it and redrawing it or rewriting it, what have you, he just decided to go ahead and publish it. Martin Goodman was still the publisher at the time, and he said, yeah, okay. So they put it out anyway. It just didn't have the Comics Code Authority stamp on it. It does later in the 80s, because after a while they realized, yeah, it's an anti-drug message. But in the original print run, didn't have that, and of course, you know, the world kept spinning and life went on, and all that. But anyway, so that was the deal with these stories. But for the purposes of the Green Goblin, this was the return of the Green Goblin after being lost to the amnesia of Norman Osborn. So the first page recaps what happened, and Peter Parker was found out by the Green Goblin, and they had to battle. And this is when he discovers the whole thing is a dual personality due to the madness of Norman Osborn, brought on by brain damage because of what made him the Green Goblin. It created this dual personality deal, this Jekyll and Hyde business that he lives with. So here, the reason he was so deadly is he was mentally sick. Mr. Osborn didn't know he was the Goblin. He couldn't help being as he was. I've got to get him to a doctor. He's ill, desperately ill. For once, luck was with me. He developed amnesia and remembered nothing. My secret is safe, so long as his memory doesn't return. When he recovered, he became a normal businessman again. He doesn't even remember that he had once been the Goblin. Well, time moves on, and, of course, Peter is now roommates with Harry Osborn and all that sort of stuff, and now he's got a chance possibly of working in Osborn Industries and all this sort of thing. So he goes to meet him, and then he can't help but eavesdrop. Turns out Norman Osborn's talking with his doctor, and so, I'm feeling fine, Doc. That's Mr. Osborn's voice from the other room. Sounds like he's getting a physical exam. I hope he's not cracking up again. Good. Just stay calm and avoid any excitement. Physically, you're as strong as an ox, Norman. I told you I was okay, Doc. But remember, just stick to your business. Try not to think about crime or superheroes or the reports about Spider-Man. They always seem to affect your blood pressure. Don't worry, Doc. I'm only interested in chemistry. Well, if it isn't Peter Parker, glad to see you, my boy. Harry suggested I drop by, Mr. Osborn. Remember, Norman, no excitement. Don't mind the doctor, Parker. He's an old worrywart. Osborn looks calm enough. I guess I'm a worrywart too. I don't know why this being such a tongue twister for me. Anyway, Harry tells me you're interested in the job, yeah, and I'm glad to hear it. I want young people with young ideas, especially a bright young scholarship student like you. It's hard to get good men nowadays. It's strange. You almost seem to remind me of someone, but I don't know who. Oh, well, it's probably my imagination. Oh, no. So you see where that's going and everything. Anyway, later on, they go to watch Mary Jane's act, and he gets in an argument with this guy. So, it's Randy. That's right. Yeah, I forgot. Robbie. He was the editor. That's right. Joe Jana Jameson was the publisher of Daily Bugle, and Robbie Robertson was the editor, or one of the editors. I think he eventually became editor-in-chief when Jonah became the publisher. What have you. Anyway, he had a son that was about Peter's age, Randy, and there he is. So he got in an argument with Osborn. So, Harry's trying to break it up here. Come on, Randy, lay off, will you? Nobody's got a right to smart mouth me. Dad, the doctor said you mustn't get excited. Okay, man, let's let it sink. We got a show to see. Mary Jane, aren't you gonna wait for me? Sure, lover. I just wanted to make sure that Peter found his seat, because she wants Peter, not you, Harry. Don't worry, MJ. I'm a big boy. Don't I know it? It's showtime, folks. It's time for me to knock 'em dead. Minutes later. She's the greatest. Mary Jane's as good as she said. That chick is out of sight. Harry's watching from backstage. He sure must be proud of her. Even Mr. Osborn is enjoying it. Nobody could stay uptight with that gal on stage. So, Mary Jane became a stripper? No, but anyway, whatever the show is, she's doing it. Then at intermission, how about it, Dad? Isn't she all I said she was? Harry, my boy, if I were 20 years younger. Yeah. Dad, what is it? What's the matter? You suddenly look so pale, so strange. I don't know. I seem to feel a cold chill go through me. My spidey sense is tingling too. Can it be that door? Well, the doctor told him not to get excited, but he sure got excited at that. So now, oh boy, it all comes back. But yeah, the door is what's significant here. And oh, look what's behind it. Yeah, so later on, Peter Parker follows Norman Osborn. He comes back. He goes into this room. Turns out the Osborn owns the property, and this becomes relevant later on throughout the Goblin stories and Hobgoblin and all that, is that Osborn had a lot of Goblin secret hideouts stashed all over the city, and, well, this was one of them, and he sees the door, and it sparks a memory, and he rediscovers that he was the Green Goblin. He's become the Green Goblin again, and he sees me. He knows me. Parker, how dare come here? You, man, why can't I read? You dare come here? Well, I can promise you this. You'll never leave alive. Continue next issue. Well, it's all put together in this special, so we don't have to wait too far. So, the next story was In the Grip of the Goblin. It's happening again, as we saw last issue. Norman Osborn, the wealthy chemical manufacturer who just gave Peter Parker a part-time job, has reverted back to his deadly demonic identity as the Green Goblin. And as he and Spider-Man meet once more, it's the Goblin who lands the first blow. Right in the face with his Goblin glider thingy. Thrilled to all the action, drama, and suspense that have made Spidey the world's most popular comic book character. He's madder, more dangerous than ever. I can't let him escape, no matter what. But he's going to, for a little while anyway. But now I have something else to worry about. I can't let him go free, knowing who I am. But he's too freaked out to listen. So how do I stop him? Short of killing him. Boy, that is the question, isn't it? Back for more of the same, Parker. Goblin, you must listen to me. I'm not your enemy. I want to help you. All right, loosen your grip. Thank you, you clod. Now I can blind you with my sparkler ray. Oh, spray. He has a weapon for everything. Can't see. It's like a million pinwheels dancing in my brain. This time you've had it. So we jump ahead to the next issue. And I believe in the previous one, the Goblin develops a gas that robs Spider-Man of his ability to stick to walls, which is pretty much his main deal, you know. I mean, he's still got his super strength, so that's something. And I believe, he already had something that dulled his spider sense, but this time it's his ability to stick to walls. But anyway, the Goblin's last gasp, is it? Just as Peter Parker is about to summon the Doctor to aid his sick friend, Harry Osborn, disaster strikes in the person of Harry's father, the dreaded Green Goblin. So Harry has pretty much had an overdose, so, yeah.
Do you think I wouldn't find you, Parker? Did you expect the Green Goblin to let Spider-Man live?
Danger and drama such as you have seldom seen, or to paraphrase the immortal bard, a tale of fury and fantasy told by a master and signifying everything. It's the Goblin, but I can't fight him now, not while Harry's so desperately ill. So anyway, this isn't a trick. It's my only chance. I've got to pierce the cloud of madness in his brain. Got to make him aware of his son, of Harry. If it doesn't work, I'm a goner, 'cause I'm standing here like a living target for him. But he's slowing down. He's hesitating.
That boy in your arms. I know him. But no, I won't be reminded. I don't want to remember.
Tremblingly, the grotesque figure turns, his twisted, tortured brain racked by the anguish of a haunting, half-buried memory. And then, like a savage, streaking creature of the night, he flees.
I can't remain, not while he is there. But I'll be back sooner or later. Parker must die.
So there you go. He doesn't want to be reminded of... I'm sorry, I got it wrong. This is where he exposes Spider-Man to the gas that takes away his sticky fingers. So they battle again now that Harry's in the hospital and whatnot. So if that was his new secret weapon, forget it. All it did was give me a chance to catch my breath. No! Something has happened to me. I can't stick to the walls anymore. That must be it. That's what his bomb did. I was a fool not to suspect. Yep, when will you learn? But I still have my strength. I can still catch hold of things as I fall. And now, if I can just web him in time, here he comes. All I've got to do is... No, it doesn't work. The web shooter's empty. Man, what are the odds, you know?
Worried, Spider-Man? If you're not, you should be, because your time has just run out.
So they fight, and then Spider-Man gets a hold of him with his, thighs. Remember the fable of the old man of the sea? Well, you're living it now, because just like in the story, you'll never break my hold. One thing shook him up before. I've got to try it again. Just follow my lead, Gobby. I'm steering you to see your son.
No!
Sorry, old paint. You've nothing to say about it. So at the hospital, you made one big mistake with that secret weapon of yours. When you designed it to take away my sticking power, you shouldn't have left my strength. But it could be worse. At least I wash my feet. Harry's room at last. Now, if this doesn't work, I'll still be behind the 8-ball. It is working. It is. He's already forgotten that I'm here. His body is stiffened. He's trembling. He's going into shock.
Harry, my son!
What is it? What's wrong? It's your father. Don't you know me, Harry? Harry, say something. Nothing. What's happened to my boy? Harry, my boy. He fainted. It's over at last. It's more than I dared hope for. The sight of Harry, so ill, shocked him back to normal again. And when he's normal, he remembers nothing about the Goblin or Spidey's real identity. You don't really know that, but yeah, that's how it works. So you just lucked out there, Spider-Man. So there, I burned his costume and got him safely home again. I really wish he had worn underwear under that costume, but, well. Anyway, when he awakens, he'll think it was just a bad dream, if he remembers it at all. Anyway, caring for Harry will keep him too busy to dwell on the past. So, on a somewhat seemingly sweet but ominous note, so my identity is safe once more, for at least for a while. Now all that remains is to hope that poor Harry will soon be all right, and to hope that he's learned you can't solve your problems with pills. As for me, I'm right back where I started. Nothing to look forward to except dull and empty loneliness without Gwen. Gwen is left for Britain at this point. But guess who could come back? Oh no, I'm starting to crack up. I suddenly imagine that I hear her voice calling me. Peter, I'm back. I had to return. It is you. It is. Gwendy. I can't believe it. It's like a dream, a miracle. It's true, Peter. I couldn't stay away. And now, before we eagerly count the days till next issue, we just want to ask you one little question. Who says we never give Spidey a happy ending? Well, it doesn't last for long because guess what happens when the Goblin comes back again? Yeah, that's, but we'll save that for the next time I do a Green Goblin show here on Mr. Nailsin's Wednesday Comics.